You know, I turned 73 last month, and as I sat there blowing out the candles, surrounded by my grandkids laughing and snapping pictures on their phones, I couldn't help but think, I'm happier now than I've been in years. Not because of the cake, though it was delicious, but because I've found something they haven't yet. Something that keeps me going, keeps me smiling, even when the aches creep in or the days feel a little long. And it's not what you might expect. It's not fancy vacations or endless scrolling on screens. It's simpler than that. It's the hobbies I picked up after 60 that changed everything. I know what you're thinking. Hobbies? Really? I'm too old to start something new. I thought that too. For years, I told myself I'd missed the boat. That hobbies were for the young, the energetic, the grandkids running circles around me. But here's the truth. I wish someone had told me sooner. The right hobbies don't just fill your time. They fill your life. They keep you sharper, healthier, and, yes, happier than even the busiest of your grandkids. Today, I'm sharing 5 hobbies that have done exactly that for me, and countless others over 60. These aren't just random pastimes, they're backed by science, rooted in stories of real people like you and me, and easy enough to start today. Whether you're feeling a little lost in retirement, looking for a spark, or just curious about what's keeping folks like us so content, stick with me. These 5 might surprise you, and by the end, you'll see why they're worth trying. If you know someone who could use a lift, maybe a friend or a loved one, share this video with them. It might just be the nudge they need. Let's dive in. Let's start with the first hobby, gardening. Now, I'll be honest, when my daughter first handed me a packet of tomato seeds 5 years ago, I laughed. Me? Digging in the dirt at my age? I can barely bend over to tie my shoes. But she insisted, said it'd get me outside, give me something to do. So I gave in. I started small, just a couple of pots on my porch. And you know what? It wasn't just the tomatoes that grew. It was me. Gardening's funny like that. It's not just about flowers or veggies. It's about you. I'd get up in the morning, shuffle outside with my coffee, and check on those little green shoots. Some days, I'd talk to them. Don't judge me. It's not crazy if it works. And slowly, I noticed something. My mood lifted. My hands got steadier. Even my back didn't ache as much after a while. Turns out, I wasn't imagining it. Studies, like one from the Journal of Aging Research, show gardening lowers stress hormones, boosts your mood, and even keeps your brain sharp. They call it horticultural therapy, but I call it magic. I met a woman named Clara at the community garden last year. She's 78, tiny as a bird, but strong as an ox. She'd lost her husband a decade ago and told me she felt like her life was shrinking. Then she started gardening. Now she's out there every day, hauling soil, trading tips with folks half her age. It's not just the plants, she said, her eyes twinkling. It's the purpose. I'm growing something alive, and it's growing me back. That's the thing. Gardening gives you a reason to move, to breathe fresh air, to feel the sun on your face. You don't need a big yard. A windowsill with herbs works just fine. Start today. Grab a pot, some seeds, and get your hands dirty. Ask yourself, wouldn't it feel good to nurture something again? Because trust me, it's not just the plants that'll thank you. If you're with me so far, drop a number 1 in the comments. I'd love to know you're here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and ring the bell. We've got more to cover. Next up, walking clubs. I know. Walking doesn't sound like a hobby. It's just something you do, right? But hear me out. About 3 years ago, My neighbor Tom, retired, 68, always grumbling about his knees, dragged me to this group that meets at the park every Tuesday. "It's not exercise," he said. "It's gossip with steps." I rolled my eyes but went along, and I'm so glad I did. It's not just walking, it's the people. You're out there, chatting about everything from the weather to grandkids' antics. And suddenly, an hour's gone by, and you've done 2 miles without even noticing. There's something about moving side by side that opens you up, makes you laugh, makes you connect. I've made friends I'd never have met otherwise, like Susan, 71, who told me over a stretch of trail how walking saved her after her son moved across the country. "I was lonely," she said. "Now I've got a crew." Science backs this up too. The American Heart Association says walking 30 minutes a day cuts your risk of heart disease and depression. Big wins for us, over 60. But it's the club part that's key. Solo walks are fine, but a group? That's where the happiness kicks in. You don't need fancy gear, just comfy shoes and a willingness to show up. Look for a local club or start one with a friend. Today's the day. Take that first step. Can't you just picture it? A morning stroll, a good laugh, and feeling better than you have in years? Hobby number 3, knitting. I'll admit, I was skeptical when my sister shoved a pair of needles in my hands at 65. "You'll love it," she said. I didn't, until I did. There's something about that rhythm, loop, pull, repeat, that quiets the noise in your head. I started with a lumpy scarf, but now I've got blankets stacked up for every grandkid. It's not just about the stuff you make, it's the peace it brings. I'd sit there after dinner, needles clicking, and feel the day's worries melt away. Research from the British Journal of Occupational Therapy says knitting lowers blood pressure and boosts focus. Better than a pill, if you ask me. And then there's the pride. My grandson wore that wonky scarf I made to school last winter and bragged about it. Me, happier than him? You bet. I met Ed, 82, at a knitting circle. He'd started after his wife passed. "Keeps my hands busy and my heart full," he told me, holding up a tiny hat for his great niece. You don't need to be good, just willing. Grab some yarn, watch a YouTube tutorial, and start today. Imagine it. A cozy evening, a project in your lap, and a smile you can't shake. Worth a try, right? Number 4, photography. This one snuck up on me. 2 years ago, my son handed me his old camera. "Something to play with, Dad." I grumbled. I'm no artist. But then I took it to the backyard, snapped a robin on the feeder, and something clicked. Not just the shutter. I started noticing things. The way dew sits on a leaf. The grin on my granddaughter's face mid-laugh. Photography's a hobby that keeps your eyes open. You don't need a fancy camera. Your phone works fine. Studies from the University of California say it boosts memory and mindfulness, huge for us as we age. I ran into Margaret, 76, at a photo walk. She'd started after retirement and now sells prints at the farmer's market. "It's not about the pictures," she said. "It's about seeing." Start today. Snap something simple. A flower, a sunset, your coffee cup. Look through that lens and ask, what's beautiful right now? You'll be amazed how it lifts you. Happier than the kids glued to their screens. Last one, and my favorite, storytelling. A year ago, my granddaughter asked, "Grandpa, what was life like when you were little?" I started telling her about fishing with my dad, sneaking cookies from the jar, and her eyes lit up. Then I thought, why stop there? I joined a local storytelling group, and it's been a game changer. It's not just talking, it's sharing who you are. You've got stories. Funny ones, hard ones, wise ones, and they matter. Research from the National Institute on Aging says it boosts self-esteem and connects generations. I met Ruth, 80, who records tales for her grandkids. "They'll know me," she said, "even when I'm gone." You don't need a stage. Start with family, a journal, or a recorder. Today, tell one story, a memory, a lesson. Feel that spark? That's happiness, deeper than any grandkid's TikTok dance. So, there you have it. 5 hobbies that have kept me, and so many others over 60, happier than our grandkids chasing trends. Gardening grows your spirit. Walking clubs lift your steps. Knitting calms your soul. Photography sharpens your eyes. And storytelling shares your heart. These aren't just time fillers. They're life changers, backed by science and stories from folks like us. I don't regret growing older. Not anymore. But I do wish I'd started these sooner. If you're sitting there thinking, maybe I could try one, don't wait. Pick one today, grab some seeds, lace up your shoes, whatever calls to you. You've got more in you than you know. And happiness isn't just for the young. Thanks for sticking with me. Drop a comment, tell me which hobby you'll try, or one you already love. Your stories keep us going. If this sparked something, like subscribe and share it with someone who needs it. We'll see you in the next one. Here's to thriving, not just surviving, at any age.